Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coming Distractions. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host this time, Demetrius.
What's going on?
All right, guys. We are back. We are going to discuss the first half of Season 1 of the new series, The Tick.
Destiny's on the line, Arthur. Accept the charges.
Is this gonna be a long call? Could I sit?
Sure. How can I put this? Murder. It's just not cool. Impolite! Quite a kick. What the world needs now is us. Sweet us.
No.
Oh, yes. Ah, this is the good stuff.
I'm breaking a little bit.
Okay, Demetrius, you and I sat down and watched this. This was 6 episodes. This is the new Amazon Prime streaming show. They had released the pilot a number of months ago. It got picked up. Actually, all of their pilots got picked up, which is kind of funny.
Like, what was it? Van Damme? That
Yeah,
too? JCVD.
yeah, or JCVJ.
Yeah, right.
And then another show called I Love Dick, which I watched a pilot for that. It was okay.
I didn't see that one.
So those are all coming as well. But so we're going to talk about The Tick, which is, we'll give the premise real fast. This is based on the original comic / cartoon that was on Fox back in the 90s about as it's described, a nigh invulnerable superhero dressed like a giant blue tick, and his sidekick Arthur, who looks like a moth. And it's sort of riffing on the superhero genre as it goes. So what did you think of this series?
I thought it was funny. There was several instances where I did laugh out loud. I was trying my best not to compare it to the cartoon, even though the Patrick Warburton series that came out was in the back of my head as well. But
Sure,
this was more, I guess, quote unquote, action oriented than that one was.
yeah, I don't think I saw much of the live action Patrick Warburton one because he did the voice in the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I maybe saw 1 or 2 episodes of that one.
Yeah, that was more comedy relief. You know, it was more comedic than anything else. This here was an actual story that was about superheroes and doing superhero things, dealing with villains that were a real threat. That had like real powers and were intending to do some real damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was the stakes were kind of high for the characters in the levels that they were in. The only problem that I had with it was that I didn't hear him say spoon at all.
No, he does not. He does not. That's true. Well, in fairness to the series, he doesn't in the cartoon. I don't think he says it right away. Right? It's like a while before.
No, in the cartoon, anytime he was getting ready to jump into action, he would say spoon, and then like he would jump off a building and go.
Oh, I thought it took a little while for him to come up with that theme, but that's fine. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought it was shot really well. The first couple of episodes are actually directed by Wally Pfister. And if you recognize that name, Wally Pfister was a cinematographer for a lot of Christopher Nolan's movies.
Really?
Yeah, like Batman Begins and Insomnia and stuff like that. Like he's actually a really good cinematographer. And so he shot a lot. Yeah, he did The Italian Job, Memento, Insomnia, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, Moneyball, The Dark Knight Rises. Right, so he's got like some pretty big credits as a cinematographer. Mm-hmm. So I actually thought the cinematography and the direction for at least the first 2 episodes, and I thought actually throughout was pretty consistent, was actually pretty impressive for what this show is.
It was, yet at the same time, I know that Amazon has money. Okay.
Yeah, they do.
They've got money, but the special effects were lacking. Like there's a part where we all know that Arthur can fly because he's a moth. Yeah. You know, between the flying scenes and some of the explosion scenes, it looked really cheesy. You know,
yeah.
I mean, whenever the tick got hit with like a shoulder mounted like rocket or something, it just looked like something out of the cartoon as opposed to something that's out of the series itself.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there's a couple of moments where I was like, huh, well, that could have been better. Now, I don't know if that is, I doubt it's on purpose. Mm-hmm. I don't know what there's no release on what the budget is for this show, but I got to imagine it's pretty low because this is it takes place in New York City, and like the city is very much a part of this show.
Yes, it is.
Like you could absolutely see like being in New York somewhere and be like, oh, they're filming the Tick right there. There it is. You know, like it feels like that. It doesn't feel like they like really blocked off a lot of the set to film. I thought that Peter Serafinowicz as the Tick is great. Like, I gotta say, I was very leery when they announced this series. And it wasn't Patrick Warburton, because originally they were like, they're bringing Patrick Warburton back. And I was like, really? Okay, that's cool. And then they were like, no, they're going to go with someone else. I was like, can somebody pull off the Tick? Like, because the Tick is such a weird, in the way he talks and everything is so weird and strange. But you know what? Peter Serafinowicz really did a good job. I was like, damn, this is like, and it wasn't an impression of Patrick Warburton.
It was just an interpretation of it.
Yeah, but I thought he fucking nailed it.
Because the character, this was what makes me think that Iron Man can be replaced. Can be.
Yes,
because
I agree.
Iron Man, Captain America, all the Marvel people or whatever can be replaced because they are playing characters. They are playing not, themselves, even though those castings are pretty fucking on point. It just, you have to think. So was Patrick Warburton as the Tick.
Right.
This guy right here took what the Tick's essence was. I mean, even in the video game, I had the Sega Genesis video game. It was that, so even though he wasn't big and muscular, the fact is he was like 7 or 8 feet tall and just a fool.
Like he's actually a pretty big guy in real life. I think he's something like, he's like 6'4", 6'5". Like he's a big dude. And he's done a number of things. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Was he the a-hole dude?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he was like. Did he got my dick message? Like he was that. He was that guy, right? But yeah, it's. I thought he brought his own thing to it, and I thought that was cool. Griffin Newman as Arthur was great. I thought he was. He is. You and I were talking just offline that he's like really annoying, but I feel like that's exactly who that character is.
Yeah. It was, and I was like, damn, man, just sack up just a little bit for me. But
oh yeah, exactly.
All the wimpiness and whininess and all that stuff. Like, but what's funny is like the whole introduction to Arthur's sister was a completely different dynamic, and him being halfway crazy. Like this was a really adult turn for this entire series.
And I wanted to touch on that. So we're gonna get a little spoilerish, not super spoilerish for the whole series, but yeah, they play Arthur is like. Kind of like bipolar or schizophrenic almost, right? And so what they do is they play off of that idea of like, is this shit really happening? Or is Arthur fucking crazy and it's all in his head? And that is really, I won't go any further into that, but that question is really well presented and really well addressed. And you're just like, okay. Like I was like, wow, that is an interesting take on this whole idea, right? On this mythos. Where in the cartoon,
it was straightforward.
It's just straightforward. And it's also like Arthur's kind of a wimp. The Tick is the exact opposite. In a way, the Tick is exactly what Arthur wants to be, kind of thing. And they play to that, which I thought was good. The other person who I thought he's not in this first half of this first season a lot, but I thought he was really good is Jackie Earle Haley as the Terror.
Yeah.
Like what?
Terrifying.
Yo, he actually that makeup job looks really fucking good because he actually looks kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, and I have a thing about clowns, so I happened to see the Tick. I mean, not the Tick. It. I saw the It movie. Monday night? Yeah, it was Monday night, and then I finished the rest of the Tick last night, and the eyes being yellow or red, was fucking with me. So I mean,
that's fair.
The makeup, whether I don't know, the special effects budget was kind of lacking. Makeup was there, it was on point.
Yeah,
they did it with it
when they showed him in the pilot. I was like, yo, this character is like really kind of freaky looking, which worked. And then you got to hear him speak a lot more in this series. Jackie Earle Haley is a perfect choice for that. I thought he was great. One of the things I do like about this series is they aren't beholden to using the same characters from the TV show and they're just kind of creating some of their own characters, which I thought was pretty cool. Like the character of Overkill,
All right.
who's basically like Deathstroke.
Or like the Punisher.
Yeah.
His Arthur's reaction was like, wait, that was Overkill? Wait, what? That shit was hilarious, yo.
Yeah, and his boat. He has his boat called Dangerboat, which I didn't realize until just recently is voiced by Alan Tudyk, which is pretty great. But it's not really his boat. It's that they're roommates, which is fucking hilarious. Like they do a really good job of just like pushing against the superhero genre and making fun of it in ways I thought were really clever. Just a couple of other people who were in it that I thought were really good. We haven't seen a lot from Brendan Hines as Superian, but he was pretty good. He's like the Superman type character. He had some pretty funny scenes. And then Miss Lint, played by Yara Martinez, was good. I liked her. I liked her as a villain. It was pretty good.
That whole roommate situation she had, it's totally believable.
Yeah. Like
she was living with her ex-husband. I mean, like, really? Like, just get out of my house. This is my lair.
Like that's the best part is like even the supervillains have really kind of like pathetic lives. like they're living these like totally normal lives, and it's like, oh well, I have to go like be a criminal. And then they have like Ramses the Fourth, played by Michael Cerveris, who basically reminds me of a Batman 66 villain. Like there literally was one who was like an Egyptian themed guy, and like he makes all of his henchmen get the tattoo under their eye that's like the Eye of Ra. He's like, you didn't get the tattoo, like you're not in the group. Like,
it's all about branding.
It's all about branding, right? Like that shit was funny, dude. Like for as goofy as the show is, it does require it requires you to like, I think it requires you to enjoy the superhero genre in its own right, but it also requires you to have a sense of humor of making fun of how ridiculous the superhero genre can be, like on its face.
Right.
But I thought it really worked.
There was just that one alley scene where there was a lot of deaths, and it just reminds you, don't watch this around children.
Yeah, it's not a kids show.
It's not for kids at all.
No, it's not.
Stabby.
But and that's the thing is like it does go from these like wildly comedic moments to like, dark. Okay, that was super dark. Which I don't know. I kind of like shows like that. They're kind of fun to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, overall, if I have to give this a score out of 5, I think I'm gonna go a 4.5. Like I really enjoyed it. There were a couple of little slow parts in like maybe episode 4 or 5 that were a little slow, but once it really found its footing, I thought in like episode 2 or 3, and just. It was a solid run. I wish they had released the full season, but we'll come back and we'll review the second half of it. But and that's not until 2018, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like October 2018 or some shit like that. But yeah, I actually thought it was really fun.
Yeah. For me, the series kind of settled into itself around episode 3 near the end, when Arthur realized that, okay, this is a real thing and not just something in his head. And that's when they think, like, okay, the suit's a big deal. All these other elements are a big deal. Right. So when they hit the stride, I was fine with it. So I'll give it a 4. Yeah. I had to knock it off just because it took a little while to get there, especially when you got 6 episodes to work with.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And then, the special effects, because I know Amazon has money. I know they got money. So they just bought Whole Foods.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos has plenty of money.
So
I am, from the financial aspect, I am interested to see what happens, because this has a pretty good score. I mean, right now on Rotten Tomatoes is like a 92%. I don't know how accurate that is from Wikipedia right now, but it's got a high score. I'm wondering if the second half, if they were just doing the first half to judge, like, do we like throw up more money and like try to really improve it in the second half. But I thought for what they had, I thought it was pretty damn good. I did like the suit change from the pilot to the second episode for the Tick.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Because I watched the pilot when it first came out, and then I just went right back into it episode 2 when I started, because I remembered. At least,
yeah. I didn't rewatch the pilot, but I remember the suit being significantly different. It had almost a more organic feel, because there's a moment early in the second episode where Arthur says, "You look different." And he was like, And he kind of like looks at the suit and he's like I don't know. And then they just keep going. So, yeah, there's a big change in the suit, which I thought was good. Arthur's suit looks great. Like it looks kind of true to form, and it's more teched up. So that makes sense in the modern age.
The antenna situation, I didn't think that was that serious as
Yeah.
I was like,
well, let's not give that away.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
I can go with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the series is well done. I have to say, I was very leery as to how well they were going to be able to pull this off. But they did it with style, man. And it's fun. And again, if you are a fan of the superhero genre and you are a person who can make fun of the things that you like, then this is perfect.
Or if you're a 90s kid who watched
the cartoons.
The
major difference for me between this, besides it being a little bit more adult, the major difference between this and the cartoon for me is that the cartoon was much more just gross. Like it had more just like snot monsters and just like it was just generally gross. Where this one is a lot is just their gross out is just violence. Like I think that's what it is.
And also that big villain, or he wasn't even a villain. I'm not trying.
What on the cartoon you're talking about?
No, in this series, Superian had to like deal with.
Oh yeah. That's, totally...
really, this random as all hell. It's just someone just walking around.
Yeah,
like
it was. But again, like they're creating a world that wackadoo things happening are just like. Yeah, that seems
run of the mill.
That's run of the mill. I am interested to see if they bring in characters like the sort of Wonder Woman clone that they did in the Tick series. I can't remember her name. And like Deflator Mouse, who was like the Batman villain, the Batman hero.
Right.
So I'm interested to see if they go full on like let's make fun of the Justice League kind of thing, which would be cool.
Have you ever watched One Punch Man?
No, I've never seen it.
No, it's very much like this. To the point where it's a deconstruction of what the superhero genre is supposed to be based on heroes who are employees of the government. And they are all like registered and they're classed in certain ways and yada, yada, yada. And you just have these random ass occurrences that happen and these heroes have to deal with it. And they have everyday lives. Like I got to go to the shopping market. I got to go to the market or whatever, get some celery.
Right.
So
everybody tells me that cartoon's really good. I'll have to check it out.
It's only 12 episodes of that, and they're short.
All right, there you go. So that is our review for The Tick. Go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can check it out for free. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.